It is a hot, steamy Sunday afternoon here in Chicago, and it is time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Chicago White Sox in the rubber game of a three-game set from U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, Illinois. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Mike O'Kay. Well, the series is evened up in a game apiece yesterday as the White Sox beat the Yankees 8-2. The Yankees have ridden the long ball, the first place all year. Yesterday, it bit them.
Well, the Chicago White Sox are hitting the ball. They came off a great road trip. Early second inning, Alexi Ramirez, boom, catches up to a high fastball, the second run. But the later in the fifth inning, ex-Yankee Melky Cabrera gets into one, and it really put the game out of hand. A three-run homer. Yankees were never able to catch up.
All right, so that was last night. Let's take a look now at today's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do for you. Ivan Nova gets the start for the Yankees, and for the White Sox, it's Jeff Samardzija. This guy can pitch.
Well, Jeff Samardzija is a guy that a lot of people didn't even know he'd be making this start. When they were on the bubble, whether they were in it or out it, he was a pitcher that a lot of teams wanted. Power pitcher, goes deep into the game. We'll see how deep he goes against the Yankees today.
In the month of July, 3-1 with a 2.27 ERA. And as Paul said, he's going to give you length, and he'll save the White Sox bullpen. Well, this is the end of a long road trip for the Yankees. 10 games on the road, 3 cities. So far, the Yankees are 5-4. Today makes a big difference whether they go home with smiles or not. Meredith Marakovitz breaks it down next on Yes.
Yankees and the White Sox coming your way in just a couple of minutes. The Yankees will conclude a 10-game road trip after today's game, and if you look at it by the numbers, they've fared pretty well on the road. They are 5-4, and offensively, they've been very good, despite the fact that they did not score a lot of runs yesterday. 17 home runs over that span, an average over 300. If there's one thing that perhaps they'd like to do a little bit better is get some more length out of their starting pitchers. Team pitching to an ERA over 5, but overall, Joe Girardi said if they can get out of here with a win, it would be a successful road trip. The Yankees have not lost a series in a very long time. You'd have to date back to June 30th when they lost their last series. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill coming back next with lineups, first pitch, baseball, right here on Yes after the break.
invites you to make a connection to the road in the new Sonata. Visit your Hyundai dealer today. By Advanced Radiation Centers of New York, when it comes to fighting cancer, precision is everything. Call 844-2-RADIATION-DOC. And by Honda. Great deals are on at the Honda Summer Clearance Event. Well, the White Sox have taken the field here at U.S. Cellular. Yankees will try to end this road trip on a positive note and pick up their 6th win in 10 games. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. The Yankees will lead off their center fielder, Jacoby Ellsbury. Batting second and playing left field is Brett Gardner. The DH is Alex Rodriguez. He's going to hit third. Cleaning up first baseman Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Carlos Beltran. Chase Headley at third base will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Stephen Drew, the second baseman, will bat ninth. And that lineup will be facing the big right-hander, Jeff Samardzija, 30 years old. He's making his 22nd start, 8-5 with a 3.82 ERA. His numbers have been much, much better of late. And let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Well, he's still in Chi-Town, which we are too, Michael. Just kind of hanging out for the weekend. But a lot of rumors about him being traded, but the White Sox had that great road trip, and he's still here. Mixologist, he throws all of his pitches about even, 20-25% for every one of them. And rolling 7+ innings in 10 starts, the longest streak in the majors. Big power guy, get late in the game for you.
He'll be a free agent at the end of this year. The word is the White Sox would like to sign him. We'll see if they can. Why don't we check out the defense, which is presented by Geico. You've got Cabrera, Eaton, and Garcia left to right in the outfield. In the infield, it's Saladino, Ramirez, Sanchez, and LaRoche. And behind the plate, Giovanni Soto with Jeff Samardzija on the mound. Well, the Yankees won on Friday night. They lose last night. And this turns this into the rubber game, an important game for both teams. The White Sox trying to catch the Minnesota Twins for that second wild card. They still have some teams to jump over. So every game important for them, and the Yankees are trying to hold off some of the teams charging in the East, like the Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Jacoby Ellsbury is ready. Jeff Samardzija is ready. And let's do it here in Chicago. First pitch is outside, and we are underway. Adam Hamari, the first home plate umpire. Brian Knight at first, Larry Vanover at second, and Ronald Culpa is over at third. That one is driven to left center field. Eaton on the run, going back, looking up, see ya! A solo home run starts the game. Jacoby Ellsbury goes yard, and the Yankees are on the board.
Well, it's a welcome sight. Jacoby Ellsbury struggling a little bit. We've talked about with his consistency as he's been back. Good swing there. I was going to say right before the game in the Windy City, boy, the flags are howling out to left field. Great day to be at the ballpark. Great day to have a bat in your hand.
Now, one of the negatives about Samardzija, he has a 7.71 ERA in the first inning. And first inning, leadoff home run for Ellsbury. His fourth homer of the year. Here's Brett Gardner. Foul back.
I went over his 4 pitches, and 3 of them are off the fastball. I mean, he'll cut the fastball, he'll use a four-seamer, and he'll sink the fastball. It was a four-seamer and ended up in the seats. Ouch.
So Gardner will take first. Now he's looking at it, Samardzija, walking very slowly, and you wonder, is he thinking that was what pitchers do when somebody hits a home run before you?
This is just tugged over. I mean, if you're Brett Gardner, there's no fun in being hit. But you know what? He's a base stealer early in the game. Just don't see it. Samardzija, one of those guys that you look at as a pitcher. I mean, he's a big, hefty fella out there, Michael.
Great wide receiver with Notre Dame. 179 receptions.
You just threw that off the top of that came to your mind? You knew his receiving yards and everything?
Looked it up.
Nice for you. Huh?
27 TDs. 2,593 receiving yards.
God, that's a pretty good college career.
Yeah,
huh?
he did very well. The 179 receptions is a Notre Dame record. He could have gone to an NFL career. Played both baseball and football at ND. And decided to go with baseball after the Cubs picked him in the 5th round in 2006.
South Bend, not very far from here, right?
No.
Hour and a half.
We were talking about it yesterday. Longtime White Sox broadcaster Ken Hawk Harrelson lives in South Bend and makes that drive every day. Two and one.
You can see there's a lot of moving parts in Samardzij's delivery, and you know, for a hitter, it's hard to pick up a lot of things from him. He kind of slings the ball from the side. He'll change arm angles, a lot of hard stuff. Very hard to get rhythm as a hitter off a pitcher like this.
White Sox got Samardzija from the A's last December. And as Paul mentioned, if the White Sox don't go 7-1 on their last road trip, Samardzija probably one of the pitchers everybody's bidding for. If they started to be sellers rather than consider themselves in the race, they would have traded Samardzija.
Might be pitching for the Yankees too.
Could have been. Two.
Again, that's that slinging fastball running in on Alex Rodriguez. Look at the wild card race here, and a lot of teams within a short number of games.
Now the Angels lead for the first wild card. The Twins have the second wild card, 1 game ahead of the Orioles, 2 the Blue Jays, 3.5 the White Sox, Rays and the Rangers 4 out. A lot of baseball left to play, just August 2nd. Runner goes. Slice foul.
Now, if you look again at those wild card standing on paper, you wonder if the Minnesota Twins can hang on. I mean, on paper, the strength, obviously, the Toronto Blue Jays and probably the White Sox. I mean, they have a good squad if they can continue to swing the bats the way they have recently. Robin Ventura was in a mode of not knowing where this season was going to go 10 days ago, and all of a sudden a little hot streak puts you right back in. Brett Gardner on his horse.
And again, another foul ball by Alex. You have to also consider the Orioles, a very good team. They gained a game on the Yankees yesterday, and they're just 5 out for the AL East. And the Orioles are trailing the Tigers early. We'll give the AL East scores as we move along, and you see the AL East.
The Orioles, to me, are going to have to play the Yankees a lot and the Blue Jays. And the Orioles pitching, to me, just does not stand up with a couple of the other clubs.
Just underway here at U.S. Cellular. Gardner goes. There's a ground ball left side. And they'll get A-Rod as Gardner advances to second. Almost had a spot for that ground ball, but some range there by Saladino.
A good play by Saladino, knowing that he has to go all the way over and get this ball in the hole. We've talked about Alex Rodriguez. He got down the line pretty well, but not the speed he used to have, obviously. The sinking fastball just hit the top of it.
Here's Teixeira. High fly ball, right field. Garcia makes the play. Time to take a look at the official game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 93 degrees. As Paul said, significant wind. Humidity is 44%. Severe thunderstorms are possible later.
How much later are we talking about, Mike?
Likely after game time. So after the game ends.
5 o'clock, that's what, 4th, 5th inning for us?
Yeah. No.
We had a little friction here in the pregame, Michael. It was 91, but the scoreboard reads 98.
Right, and I got jumped.
You got berated right in my ear.
It says maybe it's 98 on the field, but the official weather as we just gave you is 93. It's hot. Forget about the number. It's hot.
When it starts with 90, it's a nice day for baseball if you're hitting.
Also, for some reason, this booth, the sun shines right in here. And
you're telling me.
A couple of years ago, John Sterling, in an afternoon game, got this terrible, terrible sunburn.
I mean, when you do John Sterling stories, don't you have to use his voice?
It was a terrible sunburn.
There you go.
Susan.
Much better.
Now, John's trying to guard against that today and actually has donned a Yankee hat just to keep the sun off his face. There's John looking like Ralph Houck.
Yeah.
McCann popped up on the left side. Saladino can't make the play.
See some of these fly balls, wind really taking them. This ball was blown all the way over into the stands. Tough day in the outfield, son. High sky. This is a sky with no clouds, blue, and a lot of wind.
How difficult is the fact that there's not any clouds?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick up the baseball sometimes. I mean, it's just there's nothing to base it on. It's just a plain background.
Detroit 3-0 over Baltimore, bottom of the third in Baltimore. Boston 2-1 over Tampa Bay, top of the third, and that's at Fenway Park. Fly ball, left field. Cabrera makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Yankees score their 91st first-inning run, most in the majors. This one off the bat of Jacoby Ellsbury. A leadoff home run for the Yankee leadoff hitter. It's Yankees 1, White Sox coming back. The Yankees score a run on the Ellsbury home run. Let's take a look at the White Sox starting lineup. presented by your local Acura dealer. The center fielder, Adam Eaton, leads off. Batting second, the third baseman, Tyler Saladino. Jose Abreu, the DH, will hit third. Leading home run hitter for the Sox, Melky Cabrera in left field will clean up. Batting fifth and playing right field, Abasael Garcia. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Adam LaRoche. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, bats seventh, hitting eighth, and playing second base, Carlos Sanchez. And Giovanni Soto is going to catch, and he'll bat ninth. And they're going to face Ivan Nova. 1-0. The Yankees lead. Adam Eaton leads off. Those are the numbers on Nova, making his seventh start. 3-3 with a 3.38 ERA. Strike. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Well, he's good to go, or he said he's good to go. We'll see. His last start on Monday, he left with arm fatigue, but he's out on his regular day today. His velocity's back, though, averaging 93 miles an hour on his fastball. There's a nasty hook right there. But that's where it was right before Tommy John surgery, so he's back and much more two-seamers. Gone to that two-seamer 39% of the time, which is way up from 2013. He only threw it 13% of the time. So good pitch against the White Sox. We've seen how good they are at fastball. Well, that good sinker will neutralize that.
Now, Joe Girardi said they're not going to do anything special with Nova because of the arm fatigue. They'll keep an eye on him. He doesn't think it's going to be an issue because, as Paul said, he started Monday, so he has an extra day starting here on Sunday, and they don't think there's going to be a problem. Remember, he's coming back from Tommy John surgery. It's always not going to be without a bump in the road. Chopped slowly to second. Drew gets a nice hop. One away. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Geico. In the outfield, Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran left to right. Infield, Headley, Gregorius, Drew, and Teixeira, that's third to first. Brian McCann's behind the plate, and Ivan Nova is on the mound.
A breaking ball, one out. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of this. I mean, last night with Mitchell, even though he was throwing hard, Chicago White Sox can square up that four-seam fastball. A sinker and a slider is a good way to pitch to this team.
It's almost hard to believe and tough to grasp that before their 7-1 road trip, the White Sox were getting beaten all year with the fastball. They couldn't hit the fastball.
Wow. Heads up. I mean, that bat ended up 20 rows back into the stands. Again, when you take a 32-ounce bat and then you end up with a half an ounce in your hands, that barrel's going somewhere, and that bat ended up all the way over their dugout. Literally 15, 20 rows up in the stands.
Paul, how do you explain the fact they couldn't hit fastballs? And then, I mean, what, game 95, they said, let's sit on the heater?
It just seems like it's a change of approach. But, I mean, if you go back and look at the base hits in this series, I don't know if they've really hit a ball hard that was a breaking ball or a slider.
Right.
And Mitchell went to his cutter last night, a couple ground ball hits, but the home runs were all fastballs, both against Eovaldi and Mitchell. These guys have changed their approach as a team and just look dead red. Right there, another good breaking ball, but just this is what you're going to see if you're smart. And I'm sure McCann, taking a couple nights off, has seen that the struggles with the Sox with a good breaking ball.
So Nova, 2 quick outs, and that'll bring up Jose Abreu.
Nova showed him a fastball, but you saw it was 2 feet outside. That's an intentional pitch to show you the fastball, but nothing you can hit. That sinker down and in, that's almost like a breaking ball. It has so much movement. give Abreu something harder early, and then nothing but breaking balls and sliders the rest of the count. Again, just barreling in on his hands. Tough pitch to handle. Watch the movement on this ball. Just continues to come in and go right off the label and then the instep.
Well, he's in a lot of pain. Holding on to Melky Cabrera. Here comes the athletic trainer Herman Snyder and manager Robin Ventura.
You just hope as a hitter, you catch a piece of that shoe, or did it go down and hit right on that ankle? But it looks like it hit the shin. That's just baseball on a bone.
Didn't we see Jermaine Dye break his leg?
Yeah. Huge break. He was never really the same after that.
That was in the 2001 ALDS. And the White Sox can ill afford to lose Abreu. They're the only team, Paul, that has just one player.
Double figures.
Double figures in home runs. They've got 2 players with 9.
Yeah, just not the offense that they expected so far.
Cracked to center field, going back. Ellsbury still back, reaches up, he can't make the play. He'll play the carom, and he holds Abreu to a single. Abreu can hardly move around first. Had no problem hitting that ball.
I don't understand it. You're 0-2 when you give him another fastball. It's not like you can trick these guys. You can't trick them and sneak a fastball by again. Didn't quite get it into where he wanted it, but this ball's just hammered. 400-foot line drive. Barry gives it an effort. That ball was hit so hard that it just beat him to the spot. I mean, he got a good jump on it, did everything right. Like I said, it's going to be a tough day in the outfield today.
Here's Melky Cabrera. 6 years ago today, Melky hit for the cycle in this ballpark as a member of the Yankees, and that's the last Yankee player to hit for the cycle. I remember the last hit was a triple. Line drive on one hop. Gregorius flips to Drew, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We played one in Chicago. It's 1-0 Yanks. Of the Yankees, which player traded at the deadline will have the biggest impact on his new team going forward, and why? After the pitch, we will give you the responses. Carlos Beltran leads off against Jeff Samardzija. And there's a strike. J. Coop Racing, David Price. He's the staff ace the Blue Jays needed in order to make a serious playoff push. Follow Yes Network and tweet your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius, and yours could be read during the pregame or the game.
You agree with that, Michael?
I think that Zobrist will be important for the Royals. I think Cueto will be important.
Zobrist hit 2 home runs yesterday. Tulowitzki.
Long term, I think Hamels will have a great effect because he signed for 3 more years with Texas. But Price is going to help the Blue Jays. After the inning ended, Jose Abreu tended to.
Not too many hitters haven't gone through that. You foul that ball off your shin and you get a big old softball there, and it's sore. Actually caught a break being the designated hitter today, where he can get treatment in between at bats, doesn't have to play a position.
See the welt there already?
Oh, they hurt. Even when you wear those shin guards, they hurt.
Speaking of injuries, Yankees put somebody on the DL again today. Diego Moreno, who gave up the home run to Melky Cabrera yesterday, put on the 15-day DL with right elbow inflammation. And the Yankees recalled right-hander Brandon Pinder from Scranton. Chop towards second, Sanchez. 2 outs, and that brings us to today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. Moreno pitched so well in relief of Capuano in Texas, struggled yesterday, didn't say anything was wrong. He told Joe Girardi that he was sleeping last night, felt some pain behind the elbow, so they put him on the DL, and that's what he did in 10 1/3 innings with the Yanks. Here's Didi Gregorius. He's had a very good road trip, 12 for 28. Hey, after today, the Yankees do not play another game out of the Eastern time zone. And Joe Girardi said that means something. He said your longest trip is going to be to Tampa. He said we still get in late because we play night games a lot. There's a base hit for Gregorius, who's done a lot of that during this road trip. So now you're going to have Toronto and Baltimore and Boston, obviously all short flights. You got Tampa Bay that you have to deal with, but and on the flip side, the Orioles, who are 5 games behind the Yankees, their closest pursuer, tomorrow they go on a 10-game West Coast swing.
Those are tough. West Coast this time of the year makes the August truly the dog days.
And of the Yankees' remaining games, only 24 are on the road, and 3 of the 24 are against the Mets at Citi Field, so they get to stay in their own beds. Two and 0. Oh, they call that a strike to Drew. A little ahead of Adam Hamari. Drew's had a good road trip, 7 hits and 22 at bats, the average at 191. But 13 homers and 28 ribbies.
I'm sure Drew doesn't like it, but with getting some days off against lefties, you're getting a lot of production, a lot more production out of second base. Brendan Ryan's had some good games out there.
A blistering shot on a short hop to LaRoche. He will step on the bag to retire Drew and end the inning. No runs a hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. Division rivals, the Red Sox, the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees umbrella, courtesy of Living Language. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
Sure hope they don't come into play, Michael. That's kind of setting us up, isn't it?
Well, at least you're prepared.
Yeah.
Garcia takes it the other way. First pitch single to right field.
Garcia has done this a lot recently. He came into this series really struggling, but he's starting to use right field a lot more. He's a big guy. They expect to hit home runs, but sometimes, even as a home run hitter, you've got to get back to your basics, and that's using the whole field.
Here's Adam LaRoche. He's had a good series, 4 for 8.
And an inning pitched. Don't forget that.
That's right.
You read in the paper today that like Robert Ventura, they're tied for history. Both leading Major League Baseball and ERA. They both have one scoreless inning.
Now, we told you the story yesterday. He struck out Brendan Ryan. That one's grounded up the middle, right into the shift, turns it into a 6-6-3 double play.
Again, this is one of those plays that, as you watch, it's like, oh, great, good play. But, I mean, when you really break it down, that's a great play. Sliding, going across the field, tough hop. Boris, you can't say enough of where his defense has come since the beginning of the season.
That'll bring up Alexi Ramirez. Anyway, LaRoche was so geeked up about the scoreless inning and the strikeout that he sent the ball to Brendan Ryan to get signed so he could have it as a keepsake. And people kind of debating it. Yeah. I mean, how would you have taken it? Would you have been upset?
Not really. I'd be more upset if, a real pitcher did it, just sent it over to have it, because it does become a joke. And you saw Brendan Ryan's reaction. It's frustrating as a player. It's a no-win situation. You get a hit, you were supposed to, and if you strike out, that's an everyday player. It just struck you out. So it happens, and it happens, 4 or 5 times a year. You see everyday players go out there and try to do what they used to do in high school, pitch.
And of all the guys to send it to, Ryan's a very lighthearted, good-natured guy, and he signed it, no problem, and sent it back.
So Alexi Ramirez, he likes that fastball also. Even up out of the zone, he caught up to a high fastball. So the breaking balls, continue to throw those until the White Sox show you that they're going to adjust, because every time you think they're adjusting to your curveball, you try to sneak a fastball, and they've been able to put the barrel on it. Again, that's an up and in fastball. These guys have absolutely no trouble getting to. This is after a curveball away. Fastball just hammered.
I'm wondering, Paul, if they maybe should go to multiple signs, because it seems like they know when the fastball's coming. Two-two.
Those are sharp breaking balls where I don't even know if you need to throw that good strikeout breaking ball just to keep them off of it. And this is obviously, you're looking for a swing and a miss, but you got to be able to throw that for strikes, especially 2-2. Now you're in a full count.
So he walks Ramirez on the low fastball. And there's Carlos Sanchez. Now on the scoreboard in right center, Paul, we now have triple digits. They say it's 100 degrees.
feels about like that in the booth.
It does feel very hot in the booth. Toronto leads KC 2-0, bottom of the 5th inning at Rogers Center. Runner goes. Nova steps off. They have him in a rundown.
Oh, we got a lot of throws on this one.
Finally McCann with the putout. 1-3-6-2 is the way you score it. But Ramirez thought he had the Yankees sleeping, and Nova just stepped off and did the right thing to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base. Let's go to the 3rd. Second.
Yeah, you're taught as a pitcher, boom, you've got to get around and get him going back to first base. And then all of a sudden, there were too many throws here. You never really made him commit. Obviously, in a rundown, the less throws, less chance to make a mistake.
Audi A3 scoreboard 1-0 on the Ellsbury first inning home run, and Jacoby's at the plate again. That one's fouled away. You know, so far on this road trip, Ellsbury is 6 for 36, and he has not been the same player since coming out the DL. If they could get him right, Paul, I mean, what a weapon at the top of the lineup, he and Brett Gardner.
Figure that Ellsbury, as good a player as he is, that every day he's back in the lineup, he's getting closer to becoming the player that he was before he got injured. He's having a great year, Michael, if you remember. Well over 300 when he went on the disabled list, huh?
Oh, he was on fire there. I think you're always going to have to live with that with Ellsbury. He plays hard, doesn't really go into a lower gear, and he is somewhat susceptible to injuries throughout his career, so you're not going to get 162 games out of him. But you hope if you get 140 that they're a great 140.
We're seeing what the scouting report said. A lot of cutters, a lot of sinkers, sliders, uses every pitch. Kind of hung that one there. Good pitch for Ellsbury to hit. Topping out at 97 there.
This would be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Popped up. Ramirez makes the play. Speaking of Samardzija, he's been a hot pitcher of late, which leads us to the Honda League leaders. Scott Kazmir has the best ERA in July. He was at 0.26. Samardzija is 5th at 2.27. See the guys in between, and that's in the American League. Best ERAs in July.
Another guy that we didn't really mention in the trade, Kazmir.
That's right. He's been great. And not only does it give Houston another arm, but a real good one. At the same time they get him, the Angels lose C.J. Wilson for the rest of the season. So that's a double blow.
You know, I didn't even hear that you announce it. Was that something that just happened suddenly, or have they been talking about it?
I'm not sure if he's been bothered by it, but I know he had made a start and got to the point that he couldn't go. Fly ball, fairly deep right center. And Garcia puts it away. Paul, did you play football as a kid?
I did. I mean, I grew up in that era where you, depending on what season it was, is what you played.
You think you were good enough that you could have played at a high level in college?
No. You know, football was my worst sport. I love basketball. I love baseball, obviously, but did play football just enough to not like the summer practices.
And what position?
Quarterback. Kicker.
Both.
You got to kick. You had the old George Blanda style shoe, flat front.
Now, didn't you say you went to the football team just to be able to date the cheerleaders?
Well, that's right. You got to play on the team to have a cheerleader girlfriend, right? Got to have dates to the homecoming dance and stuff, right?
Absolutely. There's a strike.
It's part of the way he ends up after pitches sometimes. It just could be several different deliveries, but just not much balance involved here.
And sometimes he has different balance. Like on that delivery, he was fine. That first pitch, he almost had a follow-through like Goose Gossage used to.
Kind of hopping around.
The Yankees will have an off day tomorrow, and then 3 games against the Red Sox and 3 games against the Toronto Blue Jays.
A lot of movement. I'll tell you what, you can tell he kind of turns on the ball and gets his back to the hitter, and then it's tough to pitch up for righties.
Swing and a miss. A-Rod down on strikes. Samardzija works a 1-2-3, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd in Chicago. Yankees lead 1-0. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the Acura It's That Kind of Summer event, and by People's United Bank NA, putting the power of know-how to work for you.
You know, Michael, I've noticed, and New York has done it for a long time. They bring out ex-military and active military, and they bring them out on the field, and it's really cool to see the way, you know, the way they're greeted by the fans all around the country now.
White Sox just did that. Gentleman got a beautiful hand. Yankees do it. 7th inning stretch. They bring out either an active member or a former member of the military. Audi A3 scoreboard, 1-0 Yanks. Sanchez takes inside.
That A3 Audi means something to me now, Michael, because Allie test drove one of those the other day.
Did she like it?
It's like her dream car.
Really?
You like that? The only problem is those dream cars. My wife has a tendency to make those reality for the kids. I just haven't figured that out all the time.
Well, now people at Audi know that Paul O'Neill's daughter wants one, so maybe get a little deal.
Player of the game in the booth or something. Throw in an A3.
1-2. It's nice that one of our big sponsors on Yes is her dream car.
That's nice. It is nice. I was impressed.
She's got good taste. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sanchez down on strikes.
Nova looks good. I mean, you talk about his last start with the arm fatigue, but, you know, good movement on his sinkers, throwing some nasty curveballs. Well, it's early, bottom of the 3rd inning, but so far he's had really good stuff. Good movement on all of the pitches.
There's Giovanni Soto. You know, if you watch Friday's game and you've been watching today, Soto has an awfully tough time throwing the ball back to the pitcher. Talking to some people with the White Sox, and they say he gets here early every day, works on throwing, throws bullets to 3rd, 2nd, 1st, back to the mound, but once the game starts, something in his head clicks, and he just can't make the throw back to the pitcher with ease the way he should. Ground ball to Drew. Tough hop, but he stays with it. Gets Soto. And in baseball, we've seen it. I mean, it started with Steve Blass for our older viewers of the Pittsburgh Pirates, an outstanding pitcher, and one year he just lost the ability to throw strikes. Yankees saw it with Chuck Knobloch, Steve Sachs, Rick Ankiel.
Oh, yeah.
Mackey Sasser, and a lot of the game is mental. And if the wiring just goes a little astray, you're going to have problems.
It's really weird. Something you've been doing since, you know, you're 5 years old, 9 years old, whatever, in Little League, all of a sudden becomes this big issue. And, you know, I was playing behind Chuck Knobloch. You see Soto getting his work in.
And look how easy it is for him to do it there. But if you watch him next inning, he goes down to one knee and kind of shot puts it over to the pitcher.
I was saying you know, in right field, you really get a good angle at Nobby back when he was playing second base. And, you know, there were great plays he would make, and it was just a reaction, and he would throw the ball over there, no problem. But then it was the two-hopper would all of a sudden he would take out his glove and have time to think. And all of a sudden you could see it just completely different throw.
And once it starts, then it becomes a thing where everybody's paying attention, mentioning it to you, and it starts to really seep in. And Knobloch was an outstanding second baseman, and then just lost the ability to throw. Detroit 6-1 over Baltimore now, bottom of the 5th inning. Boston 3-2 over Tampa Bay, top of the 5th. Over the mound and into center field, a base hit for Eaton.
I tell you, Eaton's on a roll offensively. Yesterday he had a good game also defensively. He shows a lot of speed, a lot of grit, plays hard.
Now on a 11-game hitting streak with that single.
They got a lot of sign language going on when they get hits over here in Chicago, don't they? Back-to-back days with the old-fashioned uniforms. I don't know. I heard they usually wear them on Sundays, but they threw in the Saturday special yesterday. I don't know. We getting a little superstitious over here, Michael?
Could be. Yeah, those uniforms remind you of Carlton Fisk and the year that Tom Seaver was here. I think Seaver was wearing the road version of this uniform when he won his 300th game at Yankee Stadium. And that was on Phil Rizzuto Day.
Wow.
Runner goes. Throw to second is into center field as Eaton will hustle a third. Well, that was a bad throw. I thought it almost hit the second base umpire Vanover, but it got through into center field.
A sinker in, a lot of movement in, and comes around it and launches it. We got people head over heels out here watching.
Like a heat-seeking missile.
Tell you what, though, Eaton does show what he could do offensively. I mean, he's like 11-game hitting streak. He's got great speed. This is where Nova has to get, be able to trust that sinker and that curveball to get out of these innings, to save these runs. Always felt like he's had a great knack of winning, and part of winning is getting the big outs in the game.
You got the dangerous Abreu on deck. So a 3-1 now on Saladino.
Yeah, you don't want to dig yourself a hole here. This is a hitter you want to go after.
So that's a stolen base and an E2, and McCann's been great behind the plate this year, cutting down the running game, and the pitchers have certainly done their part, but just an errant throw on that one. Here's the payoff.
You see, he's got that good movement on that sinker. He just keeps pounding that sinker. And, you should talk about these guys are great fastball hitters, but look at the movement on this ball. It's down. So, it'll keep that good fastball hitting team off of it because, there's a lot of movement on it late.
Two 2-0 Toronto over Kansas City. That's in the bottom of the 6th inning in Toronto. So despite fouling that ball off his left leg, Abreu, the DH, obviously staying in this game. Don't know how well he's going to run. Three-two.
Saladino not giving in. Nova not giving in. Continues to throw sinkers. Got him.
He went right at him, falling behind 3-0, kept throwing strikes, 4 foul balls, swing and a miss, runner stranded at third. Over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. We go to the 4th inning. And Mark Teixeira leads off. Coming into this game, the AL's highest batting averages since the All-Star break. Eric Hosmer, 453. Mark Teixeira, 412. Melky Cabrera, 403. Ian Kinsler, 403. Adam Eaton, 397. So 2 White Sox players, and Hosmer, Teixeira, and Kinsler. Lincoln scoreboard, 1-0 Yanks. Saw a shot of the showers they have in the outfield. That started with Bill Beck at the old Comiskey Park. People could take advantage of that today.
You just rinse off?
Yeah.
Mister, or is it an actual shower?
No, it's a shower. You thinking about heading out there?
You know what? It's a little toasty in the booth, but I don't know if I can get there. And, I got down to the bleachers and back between innings. I don't know if I can get to the shower and back there. It's quite a romp around the stadium to get out there.
2-2. Swing and a miss. After the first inning, where we said he had a 7.71 ERA, so Marge's ERA is 3.13, second inning on. And I think a really important stat in a sport now where starters just don't give you length. Paul gave you this during the scouting report. 10 straight games or 7 or more innings per start, and that's the best in the major leagues. It just doesn't happen a lot anymore. There are those horses on the rosters.
You just look at his size and his strength.
I mean, a tough play with the wind. It drops in for McCann.
So Marge is kicking the mound out there. I mean, as a pitcher, you see that fly ball, you just expect that it's going to be caught. But with the shifts, every once in a while, these balls just find grass. And the wind is it's an issue out there in the outfield today. Melky Cabrera, no chance to get in there.
Now, there was some thought that we'd see Dustin Ackley in the lineup today, and there was consideration of playing him in right field, but Beltran was out of yesterday's lineup because of a sore foot. He had fouled the ball off his foot, and Joe didn't want to rest him 2 days in a row. The foot feels better, so Ackley will have to wait for another day.
Talked to him yesterday. You know, everybody was talking about his beard, and he had to shave. He had over 2 years been sporting that beard. In a matter of minutes, you look in the mirror at a totally different person.
He had teammates help. It took 15 to 20 minutes to shave it. It is kind of amazing, Paul, and I'm sure you witnessed this as a player with the Yankees. There are guys who wear beards and a mustache, long hair, and they don't fight the fight when they get here. They respect the tradition of the Yankees,
absolutely.
and they don't fight the organization. They just shave the beard because they know if you're going to play for the Yankees, you have to be clean shaven, other than a mustache.
It's the worst thing you could do is come over to an organization and make waves, obviously. That's a little different look, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like a LaRoche beard, dude.
And you could argue it, you know, it's 2015, but I think it's kind of a cool thing, the tradition of this team, that, you know, that's something that you don't have with the Yankees.
Yeah, I grew up in two organizations that had very strict, with the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees, and I never had a problem with it. I thought that, you know, you're representing an organization. If this is what they feel represents it best, get it done.
Remember, Randy Johnson cut his hair when he came to the Yankees. So the Yankees have a little bit of a rally here with Headley up. First and second one out. They have a 1-0 lead. We're in the fourth. There's a strike from Samardzija. 0-2 on Headley. Headley grounded to second in the second. He's also had a good road trip, 14 for 35. McCann at second, Beltran at first. Samardzija is very, very used to seeing Giovanni Soto behind the plate. They were battery mates with the Cubs, the A's, and now the White Sox. First start of the year, he had Tyler Flowers behind the plate, but Soto has now caught the last 21. There's a base hit to right field. They're going to have to hold McCann at third. Garcia has a great arm, and McCann doesn't have great speed. So a hit for Headley, and the bases are loaded.
And this all started with a little bloop single, and all of a sudden a couple hits, and boom, now we've got bases loaded with a big opportunity for the Yankees here in the fourth.
And the red-hot Didi Gregorius.
Yeah, this is where you really try to emphasize, don't change your approach. First time up, line drive to left field, then all of a sudden you get up in these big situations, and you want to try to do a little bit too much. You become a pull hitter again. Samardzija's good sinker ball wants to try to keep this ball in the infield.
One 1-0. Gregorius singled in the second. And on this road trip, 13 for 29. Bottom of the seventh in Toronto. They lead Kansas City. The Blue Jays do 2-0. Boston 3, Tampa Bay 2, bottom of the fifth. Detroit 6, Baltimore 1, top of the sixth.
See Samardzija every once in a while. You know, he's 93, 94. That's 96. Goes to that four-seam fastball.
One and one on Gregorius. Now 2-1.
Big pitch here. Obviously, Samardzija knows he doesn't want to go 3-1 with bases loaded. He's a hitter, boy. You dig in, you look for something out over the plate, something you can handle.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. McCann scores. They're sending home Beltran. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's in there with a sweet slide. It's 3-0 Yankees. A 2-run single for Didi.
Well, Melky Cabrera has always been pretty accurate. This ball's just up the line a little bit, and McCann does. He throws a little trick slide in on. Ball there in plenty of time, but just up the line away from the plate.
So McCann scores, Beltran scores, and it's 3-0.
I say McCann, that's Beltran with the trick slide. Not bad.
Last 7 games, Paul, for Didi Gregorius, 11 runs batted in, should I say.
Yeah, and again, it's with the same approach. If the ball's away, ball's out over the plate, you know, line the ball to left field. That's your strength. Don't get caught in that mode where you want to try to pull it, try to hit the home run. Great job by Beltran.
Paul, could you have envisioned Gregorius now hitting over 260 the way he looked the first month of the season?
Boy, it was very tough because, you know, he had a big hole in his swing on the outer half of the plate because he was kind of coming around everything, trying to pull everything, and now seems like he's seeing the ball better, hitting the ball where it's pitched better, and obviously confidence has a lot to do with everything. You can just tell every time you come into town, you know, the confidence is getting better. And it's also showed up on the defensive side of the field.
Huge hit for the Yankees as Drew lines one to right field. It's a base hit. Headley's going to be held at third. And again, the Yankees have the bases loaded. Garcia's arm is a weapon out there. Joe Espada, the third base coach, knows it, and he is not going to test it. He has 11 outfield assists. Another big spot, which would give Nova more breathing room. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury with the bases jammed. Ellsbury led off the game with a home run, then hit a pop-up to short. Still one man out.
So far in this series, both Friday and Saturday, there's been big innings that have put teams away, and this is an opportunity for the Yankees to throw up a big number off one of the better pitchers in the American League to this point. Samardzija, he doesn't change his approach with men on base. He's still using the slider, still using the sinker, fastball. Very seldom do you see power pitchers, broken up that evenly with all of his pitches. Just looking down in the bleachers there, Michael. Look at the guy with the insect thing just shooting water on everybody. That's the shower for the people behind home plate.
Fly ball deep center. Eaton back, still back. On the track, he'll make the play. Tagging is Headley. He scores. The other runners move up as well. Gregorius to third, Drew to second, and the Yankees have a 4-0 lead on the Ellsbury sac fly.
I was looking at Ellsbury and his reaction at the end of the play. I think he thought he got that. One of those days where the wind's howling, you think it would kind of carry this ball out. I know it's nice to hit a sac fly, but all of a sudden, a grand slam's a lot better.
Second and third now, 2 outs, and here is Gardner. 4-0 Yankees. And Girardi said before the game, winning this would make this a good road trip. It would make it a 6-4 road trip. You take what was tied for the longest trip in terms of games of the year off the schedule. The schedule now shifts in your favor, all East Coast games, and you could be 6-4. Still a lot of baseball to go, but Yankees admit this would be a nice one to win. One and two.
A couple off speed pitch and then follow it up with 95. There it is, Michael. See the sprayer?
Yep.
If we can't make it to the shower, we'll just hire that guy to come up here and hose the booth down, huh?
You know, it's not a bad idea.
No.
Fouled away. "26 pitches this inning for Samardzija."
Come on, Jeff, you got this.
Scott Carroll is up. Gregorius at third, Drew at second. And the pitch. A base hit to right center field. Gregorius scores. Here comes Drew. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Gardner, and it's 6-0 Yankees.
Well, a big hit for Brett Gardner and the Yankees. That extra 2 runs with 2 outs. Off-speed pitch, and he stayed with it. Hooked it over to the right side.
And fans, with that hit, the Yankees have scored 6 runs, so log on to papajohns.com tomorrow for 50% off your online regular menu price order. Use promo code Yankee6 at papajohns.com.
Might be in there tomorrow. Day off in New York, Michael. You might just go crazy.
I could.
Huh?
A-Rod fouls it away. A-Rod, the subject of a in-depth Q&A with Steve Serby in the New York Post today, and answered all the questions and said he's never felt more comfortable in a clubhouse, and this is a great team. They all like each other. He said the last time he had a feeling like this was in 2009 when the Yankees won the World Series, and he said he's trying not to reflect on what he's done, but just on the success of the team. That's really all he cares about at this point.
Tell you what, it makes playing baseball a lot easier when you truly mean what he said. When you're in a playoff race and you worry about winning and losing, and all of a sudden, you know, your numbers are there, but they're there in the sense that the team is winning,
right?
And it makes it fun going to the ballpark. You know, you get on a team this time of year where you're 20 games out, and it's very hard not to be worried about what you do day in and day out, your numbers, instead of what the team does.
Swing and a miss. A-Rod down on strikes. But the Yankees score 5 runs in the 4th inning. Big hits by D.D. Gregorius, scoring 2. And then Brett Gardner completes the scoring when he picks up a 2-run single to right. 6-0 Yanks. Tag yes, Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Big inning for the Yankees, 5 runs, 6-0. As we go to the bottom of the 4th in this rubber game, here is Abreu. His single in the first extended his hitting streak to 13 straight. And there's a strike. Abreu, a big, strong guy, but he has 42 hits to the opposite field this year. Second in the American League to the Indians' Jason Kipnis. And of his 18 home runs, 8 have been to the opposite field.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you talked about it yesterday with Mark Teixeira not having to worry about pulling the ball all the time to hit home runs. It's just a great asset if you're that strong to be able to hit home runs the other way. Cabrera from Detroit comes to mind. I mean, that's where he looks to hit the ball.
Grounded to Didi. 1 away. 1 ball today has been hit in the air, and that's Abreu's single. Everything else has been on the ground, even the other hits.
Yeah, it just goes to show you where Nova Sinker is today. I mean, it's just diving down. A lot of ground balls. I mean, this is an ideal situation for Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild. Get a bounce back from Nova. You've got Miller and Betances ready late in the game.
Here's Melky.
It just looks like the ball's coming out of his hand. There's no effort to it, and it's 94 with a ton of movement.
I mean, there was so much concern after his last start when he admitted coming out after 5 innings that he just had fatigue in his arm. But the next day, he kind of calmed himself by talking to other people that have had Tommy John surgery, and I said, this is part of the deal.
I tell you what, he's in a great rhythm. It just doesn't look like he's forcing anything. It just looks nice and easy. I tell you, every time Evaldi takes the hill, throws well, and if Nova continues to, just mow guys down, it helps you so much, because with Pineda going on the disabled list, I mean, your pitching is your concern right now.
Check swing, did he go? No, he did not, said Culpa.
Severino coming in the Boston series on Wednesday. That'll be interesting. I'm excited to see him pitch in the major leagues for the first time.
Fly ball, left field. Gardner makes the play. Now, talking to Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach today, he said, I don't think any of us are concerned about Severino being overwhelmed by the moment. He said, just seeing him in spring training and talking to the people at AA and AAA, the 2 levels he's been at, he said he's not that sort of kid. He's got it together, and he's moved up quickly. He's 21 years old. He's making his debut against the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. He said, we'll see how he does. But he did say something interesting. He said, we expect him to be here all year. We expect him to make a start every 5 days for us. This is not just one start for Severino. Now, obviously, everything is subject to change, but that is their plan. It's not a one-and-done situation. So that'll be Wednesday, and we'll have the game on Yes. The way the pitching stacks up, you've got Tanaka Tuesday, Severino Wednesday, Sabathia on Thursday. Swing and a miss to Garcia. 1-1.
Those things are so easy to say, Michael, when you're 5-6 games up in a division. You get towards September, that lead sometimes starts to dwindle a little bit, and the starts become a little more difficult. But You know, it is fun to have an option when you're bringing up a high-touted prospect, a guy that a lot of teams wanted that Brian Cashman said no to.
Swinging and miss. The ball gets past McCann. So it's a strikeout, put out 2-3. It's been a strong 4 innings for Ivan Nova, who looks very, very good on this Sunday afternoon in Chi-Town. It's 6-0 Yanks. As we move along throughout the game, so we'll update you as scores change. 3-2 Boston over Tampa Bay, bottom of the 6th. Detroit 6, Baltimore 1, bottom of the 7th. So we start the 5th inning. Bigelow T scoreboard, 6-0 Yankees. Mark Teixeira leads off the inning. Takes a ball. August 2nd for Yankee fans will never be a day that they could feel really great about. 36 years ago today, on August 2nd, 1979, the Yankees lost their captain, Thurman Munson, in a plane crash. And the Yankee world was rocked. Just such a rock to the Yankees, as I mentioned, their captain, and meant so much to them as he led the renaissance of the Yankees from a bad team to a championship team in 77 and 78, and had such a great series against the Reds in 76 where the Yankees got swept, and he was the backbone of the team, and perished at such a young age in the plane crash on August 2nd. And his wife Diana carries his memory so beautifully, his children as well, who always come by Yankee Stadium on Old Timers Day. So our thoughts are with the Munson family on what I'm sure is a difficult day. Teixeira hits one deep to right field. Garcia back, looking up. See ya. A home run into the bleachers for Teixeira. It's 7-0 Yankees.
I'll tell you what, it's been so weird to see him back-to-back nights with home runs, and then last night some awkward swings tonight, or to start this game off, had a strikeout, and then the ability to, to hit a ball 450 feet way out in right center field. A hanging slider right off the barrel. You know where this is headed. Michael, that was halfway up the bleachers.
Wow.
Out there.
29th home run. McCann takes a strike. Let's see where it landed.
You hear the sound here. Back to Diana Munson. Is there a nicer lady?
Oh, she's the best. She's just handles herself with grace and class and has kept her husband's memory alive and continues to run the dinner where they raise money every winter, and people come out because of her and obviously the memory of Thurman. So just amazing. Every Yankee fan of my age, you know, in their 50, you remember exactly where you heard the news on August 2nd, 1979.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously grown up in the Midwest. You hear the national news. It's unbelievable. But being in New York, I'm sure just
oh my
absolutely
goodness.
Just hit everybody.
And your locker in the old Yankee Stadium, you look to the right diagonally, and there was Thurman's locker, which they kept untouched from the day he died, and now that locker is in the Yankee Museum at the new stadium.
It's one of the first things I noticed walking into the home clubhouse in the old stadium. All fouled back, very close to Michael. He's ducking under his chair over here. That, you know, his equipment was still intact. It was still hanging in the locker. There was just something about it that kept it. And Gene Monahan one day yelled at me, "Get out." I was just looking in the mirror, and it meant that much, obviously, to the people that were here.
This one's foul back. Now, a few pitches ago, there was a foul ball into the Yankee dugout, Paul, and it hit Nova in the hand. It covered his head and got him on the right hand. And Mark Littlefield comes over and takes a look right away. He's been pitching so well, you hope that doesn't derail him. But there doesn't seem to be an overt amount of concern right now. Three-two. Line drive right at Ramirez. One away. They are on Samardzija.
And McCann has had some good at-bats yesterday. In the middle of the game, he came in, hit a ball just like that, got taken away. Then he ended up with a home run. Kind of a half a day off yesterday. Once you hear Samardzija, you figure, you know, this is going to be a tough day. He's been throwing the ball well. As a Yankee fan, you got to be feeling pretty good. It's 7-0 in the top of the fifth.
A strike to Beltran. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
You know, one thing I have noticed in the past couple of weeks, you know, the Yankees have gone through this streak that they keep coming at you. They keep piling on runs. They keep adding runs, and that wasn't always the case. You know, those tack-on runs we used to talk about. It seems like recently these guys are continuing to throw out good at bats until they bury somebody.
That one's lined to Saladino. The Yankees are on every pitch, it seems. 2 away.
Yeah, 2 outs and 2 Rockets. Can't do much else if you're Beltran. Sinker away, drive it away. That brings back bad memories, Michael. When you hit one hard and it just goes right at somebody, you're not even out of the batter's box yet.
And it always happened to you. It was amazing.
No, that's just what you feel like as a player.
Well, we told you about the thunderstorms in the forecast, and that cloud cover that you wanted yesterday, Paul, starting to come over the stadium right now. Making Headley skip rope, and it got him. That's the second Yankee hit by a pitch. Gardner in the first inning, now Headley here in the 5th. And this is against the pitcher that was lights out in July. Last 5 starts, 2.27 ERA. Yankees have a 7 spot on the board, 2 outs into the 5th. Last 11 games. Look at Didi. Different player. Just amazing. Different. The 1-0. And you know, they say, Paul, that you can't carry your offensive problems out on the field. Everyone knew Didi Gregorius, at least coming in, well, he's going to be a very good shortstop. He was not good at shortstop at all. In fact, he was a detriment to the Yankees. So he was bringing his offensive struggles out onto the field. Now both sides of the game are very good.
Yeah, very hard to do when you're going through. You know, it's a huge adjustment. And not only being traded, but being traded to the Yankees. The next shortstop after Derek Jeter walks away from the game. I mean, there was a lot on the plate for Gregorius, and it took him a while to figure out how good he was. And I still don't think that he's as good as he can be. I think he's learning how to hit much better using the whole field. I think Robin Ventura has seen enough from his ace.
10 straight starts of 7 or more innings for Samardzija, and the Yankees snap that as he walks Gregorius, put runners on first and second, 2 outs, and Robin Ventura makes the Verizon call to the bullpen. Samardzija's day is done. Reggie on the right, and John Cusack of Chicago, big time actor. We had him on center stage watching the game. He's on the left. Jeff Samardzija is watching the rest of the game as well. A rare bad start for him of late. 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 2 runners on base, his responsibility. And Scott Carroll takes over for the Sox. And he'll face Stephen Drew. First and second. 2 outs. Strike. Now, we showed you Nova get hit with the pitch. We should point out that there's nobody up in the Yankee bullpen, so that would lead you to believe that there's nothing wrong with his hand. Otherwise, they would have somebody warming. So they don't think it's an issue.
You figured that all out?
Yep.
Way ahead of me. I didn't even look at the bullpen. It's 7-0. I'm thinking, wow, the starter's dealing.
Lined into left center field. It is a base hit. It splits the outfield, and it goes to the wall. Scoring is Headley. Scoring is Gregorius. It's a 2-run double for Drew. Everyone's getting involved. 9-0 Yanks.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's fun to watch Gregorius run the bases. It's fun to watch guys continue to hit the ball. And they're just going for the throat here. I mean, they continue to add on. Talk about base runners. You see Gregorius. I mean, one of the guys that scores on those doubles from first base.
We talked about this yesterday, Paul. The bottom third of the order has been unbelievable on this road trip. Today, 4 ribbies from the bottom third of the order. On Friday, they were a big part of the offensive outburst as well.
Obviously, I don't know if it's a direct platoon situation, but Drew seems to be swinging the bat somewhat better. You know, by getting some of those days off against a lefty, you can really lock in off righties. Defense never a question. Brendan Ryan, you know, he's been swinging the bat off lefties too, so all of a sudden you're getting some production out of the second base.
Now, Samardzij's line is complete, Paul. He allowed 9 runs, and I mentioned that because that ties a career high. A rough outing.
A little 9 there. Was that Minnie Minoso they're wearing those for?
Yes.
Yeah.
The great Minnie Minoso. Five runs in the fourth, 3 runs in the fifth. They're going to have to turn on the lights here because it's getting dark. Three one, and Ellsbury walks. So first and second now for Gardner.
Gardner really had that big hit, that 2-out hit against Samardzij that knocked in those 2 runs. Seems to really open the door here for the Yankees today. So, Michael, you came in to Chicago, your second favorite city. Did you get everything done? The weekend plan, did you everything off the list?
Yes.
Yeah?
Everything.
Every restaurant, every person you need to take care of, you're good to go?
Well, I don't know anybody in Chicago. It was the restaurants. Yeah, got that done. Got to
all
work
the
3
major
games with
Ds.
you.
You're a regular.
Yeah. To tell you the difference between Paul O'Neill and me, Paul O'Neill had a late night dinner last night. I think it was salmon, right?
A little halibut.
Halibut. I had a French dip.
Not a boy. Here's a little more American. The beef.
Probably a little more unhealthy. 3-2 Toronto over Kansas City. That's been a rock'em sock'em series. Bottom of the 8th inning. We'll keep an eye on that. And there was an altercation in that game where the benches cleared.
Yeah. I tell you, you see about the great records in baseball, and everybody knows the Cardinals and the Yankees are brought up that they're playing, but all of a sudden Pittsburgh, you know, their record, pretty good team. Wow. Rip.
Grabbed by LaRoche, and that will do it. But the Yankees put a 3 spot on the board. Why don't you start it with something we've seen a lot of? 29th home run of the year for Mark Teixeira, a long solo shot. And then Stephen Drew gets in on the action. A big 2-run double. It's 9-0 Yanks. Girardi Show as the Yankee skipper recaps his long 10-game road trip against the Twins, Rangers, and White Sox. All coming up today after the postgame, only on Yes. Ground ball, base hit for LaRoche. Yankees had the shift on, and he hit it where the third baseman would be. So he picks up a leadoff single here in the 5th. Bigelow T scoreboard, 9-0 Yanks.
Bigelow T gets us that weather report, too. What do you got working, Michael? We all right?
I'm looking at the radar. It does not look good.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
So they lied to us. They told us after 5.
They're about
maybe they meant
2 hours
after 5.
early.
Maybe they meant after 5 innings.
As long as it's official, right?
Much easier to pull the plug on a 9-inning game than a 1-0 with the rain delay, right?
You would think.
Yeah. Just saying.
And there's a strike. Because the lights were not on in the top of the 1st or top of the 5th, they don't turn them on here in the bottom of the 5th.
They just hit the, right when you said that, they hit the switch.
Yeah, they hit the switch.
You got a lot of pop here. You know that? I thought it was only New York. It's Chi-Town, too.
You know, that used to be a rule.
Yeah.
That if it wasn't on it, but it's a silly rule because if it gets dark all of a sudden, you should turn the lights on.
It's like your wife walking in the room dark. You're not. You have to do it, too?
That's right.
Until you stub your toe on something? Me, Mike, a little home and away series, huh?
I don't know if you've ever done this before.
I don't think I haven't. Matter of fact, I know I haven't. I think I'm better at home, Mike.
You think so?
I'm a better player at home. Huh?
The whole Yankee team.
Yeah. Play well at home.
Yes, they were built for that part.
Just 500 on the road. Wow, look at that swing. Just goes to show you what kind of stuff Nova has out there today. Oh. Wow.
Also, you've got some power at home. You got a plaque out there. You snap your fingers. They got food up in the booth for you here.
Really?
They don't care. You got to go to Ed Farmer to get a chicken sandwich.
Did you notice you wear your media pass around here too? You don't get arrested. Tell you what, though, there has been so many Yankee fans out around the dugouts and during batting practice. It is amazing to me as you go around the country, every ballpark, how many Yankee fans come out to the games. You always feel like you're playing a partial home game.
Had him play it beautifully as Gardner makes the play. And the fans were loving you the other night. Handing out those Paul O'Neill autographs.
That? All the New York gear out. Those people walk around the city like this. It's not like they just wear it to the ballpark.
Out in force. Here's Giovanni Soto. Detroit 6, Baltimore 1, now top of the 9th inning. Boston 3-2 over Tampa Bay, bottom of the 7th. So if those scores hold up, if Detroit holds on, the Yankees get back the game they lost from Baltimore last night. Well, they've had some weak hacks against Nova.
I'll tell you what, his curveball is sharp. His sinker's been good. And you see, on TV, you're like, how could you swing at that? But out of his hand, that ball is in the strike zone, and then it just got a sharp break to it. I'll tell you what, if I'm a future scouter for another team, Well, you're going to have to show me the White Sox can hit off-speed pitch and breaking balls before I show them any fastballs out over the plate. He's got such good movement on that, it's almost like a breaking ball.
Toronto tacking on some runs. They lead 5-2 over the Royals, bottom of the 8th.
It's the best thing it could. Look at that, Michael. We're just dive bombing from 100. We're all the way down to 92.
Cold front. By the way, this is the Yankees' 14th game with 9 more runs this year. Second most in the major leagues. Want to guess which team has the most? 9 or more runs. Toronto.
Yeah.
17 games, 9 or more.
Yeah, they can explode offensively.
So Teixeira's going to back up on LaRoche. It's 3-2, so Adam will go with 2 outs. And the Yankee right-hander deals.
Stayed with that sinker. He's done it all day. Good job by Nova so far.
Yankees needed a strong start, and they've gotten 5 outstanding innings out of Nova. We go to the 6th official game. Rivals to the Bronx. Yankees and the Red Sox kick off a 3-game set at the stadium. Complete pregame coverage starts at 6 with outing batting practice today. Then we're back with first pitch shortly after 7, only on Yes. A-Rod leads off the 6th inning. A-Rod today is 0 for 3.
You see Alex where he looks like he's looking inside. That last swing looked like everything was kind of going for an inside pitch. Not much left to go to that outside ball to cover it.
Two one. 3-1 on A-Rod.
Should get a good fastball here. Good swing, 9-0 game. Pitcher you don't want to walk off the leadoff hitter.
And A-Rod works a walk.
Mark Teixeira back up after a long home run. Last at bat. 29 home runs.
On August 2nd.
Beginning of August.
You always have to consider that Mike Trout's the favorite, but Mark Teixeira is going to receive his share of MVP votes. He'll definitely finish in the top 10 and could be in the top 5 the season he's having. Now on our ride home yesterday, Paul, how long a drive do you think it is from here to where they're having the Lollapalooza festival?
Well, 10 minutes, huh?
10 minutes. Well, on my news feed, I just got that they have evacuated Lollapalooza as a hail-producing storm system passes through the Chicago area.
Maybe it's heading north.
The storm is to the north of us.
It doesn't rain on golf courses or at cellular field. It's just the way it goes. Yeah, Lollapalooza not far away, but over towards the water. Navy Pier. You ever hang out at Navy Pier?
Yeah, I've been there. It's nice.
Yeah? Ride the Ferris wheel?
No.
No?
No.
Not a big Ferris wheel guy?
I just didn't get on.
I'm telling you, all these things are in your future. Your kids are going to love those things.
Well, why can't you just put them on the ride and watch?
Because that's not the way kids, they want you to be part of it. They want you to live it with them. It's not as much fun. Especially with 2 kids. Jody will be with one and you'll be with one.
Teixeira goes down on strikes. Well, you know, when they're old enough, I think they're going to realize that 63-year-old dads shouldn't be going on roller coasters.
Well, you could go on the merry. You wanted to picture with a horse on Michigan Avenue. Now you can go ride one at the amusement park.
Now, some people are starting to move from the box seats to get some cover. I don't sense any rain coming down right now, but there must be. We're just not seeing it. There's McCann.
You know, they don't even have the tarp uncovered here, so the grounds crew must not be expecting anything.
Yeah, you're right. They still have the cover on the tarp, which is third base side. Checking out the radar. Remember the days when only meteorologists had radar? Now everybody has it on their phone.
Right on your phone. It is sprinkling a little bit. Who was rocking at Lollapalooza when they pulled him off the stage?
I wonder.
Who's the headliner tonight? We had Metallica last night, Paul McCartney on Friday night.
I'm not sure. Florence and the Machine, I'm hearing. And also of Monsters and Men. Are you familiar with their work?
I've heard of them. I'm not real familiar with them. You know, I've got kids, so that's more their era of music.
2-2. strange looking clouds overhead, Paul. They almost look like bunched together cotton balls.
All right, I'll give you that.
McCann really battling. Had the home run yesterday. He's 1 for 3 today. Had a day and a half off. Didn't start Friday, didn't start yesterday. Did come in as a pinch hitter, was robbed, and then hit a home run in his second at bat. In his last 2 at bats, he's seen 15 pitches. Scott Carroll on in relief for Jeff Samardzija. Did he go? No, he did not. On deck is Chris Young, who came in for defense for Beltran in the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-2. Runner on first, 1 out. Yankees lead this one 9-0. As Meredith said at the start, the Yankees have not lost a series since June 30th. So this would give them another series win. You keep winning series, you're going to keep your standing.
Yeah, it's very hard to catch teams that continue to win.
Now they've split some series. They have not lost a series since June 30th.
The umpire's going to have to reload after this at bat. Brian McCann fouling pitch after pitch.
McCann's hit 11 foul balls today. Strike 3. The long battle won by Carroll.
Run back. That's the inside corner. You know, Mike, I was just looking out in the outfield with some of the debris blowing around, and I saw the patio out there. Boy, that brought back some good memories. That's where the fans would scream and yell at you through the fence out there.
Nice things?
No. Usually they got overserved by about the 5th inning, and that's when it really became fun out there.
Did it ever get so personal that you answered back?
Nah, I mean, you look back there and just kind of shake your head. If you're ever having a bad game, usually you could say something back to them. If things were going well, like today, 9-0, it was all in a day's fun.
Chris Young hammers one to left field, and it is caught by a diving Melky Cabrera. He took an extra base hit, and likely a run batted in away from Chris Young, and he's down on the ground. Now he gets up, and that will end the inning. So a sparkler defensively by Melky. Full body dive, and he held on as he hit to the grass. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 9-0 Yanks. fastest, most reliable internet. Masahiro Tanaka will get the start for the Yankees. And you see that blank face there for the Red Sox. We're not quite sure. Our coverage begins at 6 on Yes. Game time around 7:07. It was supposed to be Rick Porcello, who went on the DL with triceps inflammation. There's some rumors flying around. It could be highly touted youngster Henry Owens going for the Red Sox, but they have yet to announce who will start. Adam Eaton leads off, count 2-0.
Well, the good news for a Yankees fan is those to be decided guys usually don't end up being winning pitchers. Right?
Usually, but if it's somebody that you've never seen before, it makes it a little more difficult. Now, I know you like to learn things, Paul, so a lot of people have texted me that the clouds above the bunched up cotton balls are called mammatus clouds. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but mammatus clouds.
It's a little different than cirrus.
Right. Or cumulus.
The madness cloud, whatever you call them, dropped them about 10 degrees. So
Adam Eaton walks.
Nova confused on who he's got at second base on a double play ball. Looking back there, Gregorius trying to figure out who's covering.
Strike to Saladino. Well, Paul, you have to like the way Nova's pitched.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, he's had a sharp breaking ball and a good sinker all day. Has not even gone to a changeup. No need. His sinker's been that good.
Foul back. McCann will make the play for the first out. Let's eyeball what Nova's done today.
You're going to see a lot of sharp sinkers and a good breaking ball, as you see right there. You can see the movement. Nothing in this, the highlight throw, I haven't even seen it, but I'm telling you, there's nothing without movement. Everything he's thrown today has a ton of movement, and that's when he's at his best. Great bounce back after that outing last time where he said he felt like his arm was just dead. Just looks like everything is in sync today.
Here's Abreu.
Surprise you at 9-0? You're still holding guys on base, especially with the shift on.
A little bit.
Pitches. Good opportunity to try to get him through 7. Whoever else you want to use to finish this game out. Wow.
And you don't see good hitters wave at pitches like that. And Abreu's a good hitter.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fastball hitter, but again, he'll hit a bad slider, but that's a good breaking ball.
9-0 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Had 36 home runs in his rookie year last year. There's a ground ball to short. They take the out at first as Eaton moves to second.
And, you know, you watch that play. That's a simple little play for Gregorius, obviously. But earlier in the year, he might have, you know, just thrown that to second for a close play and got nothing out. He knew, you know, you get outs right now. You know, if it's going to be a close play at second because it's an in-between hop and slow roller, didn't even look. Just get your out at first base. Get on to the next guy.
Here's Melky, who made a great catch to rob Chris Young of an extra base hit, and then was down for a bit. Probably had the wind knocked out of him. Cabrera's 0 for 2 today against Nova.
You're not surprising to tell Yankee fans who saw Melky Cabrera for years in the Bronx. Just a good, solid player. Defensively, offensively. He's been hot at the plate, but I mean, he's a guy that you remember. I mean, defensively, he covers the ground out there. He throws well. Again, when you land flat on your chest, the tendency is to boom, to knock the wind out of you. Kept the ball in his glove.
Ground ball base hit for Melky. Eaton rounds third. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Cabrera. It's the White Sox first hit with a man on base, and it scores their first run. It's 9-1 Yanks.
It's a time where Nova just kind of look at the scoreboard. You know, you've given up a run. You've got 2 outs. Let's go. It's 9-1. Continue to throw your good sinker. One of the few balls you saw up in the strike zone, fastball, left it up for Melky, and he's just too hot of a hitter to make a mistake to. And Nova has not made too many today.
Here's Avisail Garcia. It is over in Toronto as the Blue Jays behind R.A. Dickey 7 innings. Win 5-2 over the Royals. Toronto's now won 4 of its last 5 games. They lost yesterday.
Toronto couldn't ask for anything better. When you add people and now everybody has high expectations, the worst thing you want to do is for it to take a while for it to gel. And it just seems like since they've been adding players, big name players, that, you know, they've been winning too immediately.
Detroit beat Baltimore 6-1. That's now final. And what's interesting about that game, pitching for Detroit was Daniel Norris, the left-hander they got from Toronto in the David Price deal. And Norris went 7 1/3, 4 hits and a run to get the win. Swing and a miss. Garcia down on strikes, and that will do it. But the Sox score a run on 1 hit. 1 man left. Let's go to the 7th. Produced or retransmitted in any form And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. We go to the 7th inning. 9-1 Yankees in the rubber game. Yankees won the first game by 7. Sox won last night by 6. Yankees lead this one by 8. Headley swings and misses.
Coming in here, you expected, two good teams kind of be a battle. These games have been blowouts either both ways, which today is no problem if you're a Yankee fan. To come in here and face the White Sox as good as they were playing.
That one is driven into right center field. It's up against the wall. That ball carried as Headley picks up a leadoff double here in the 7th. That looked like a normal fly ball to center.
You do get the wind gusts here in Chicago. Driven out there, but right, just kind of hit a wind current and just took off.
Another good day for Headley on this trip. So he's 2 for 3, which makes him 16 for 37 on this road trip. Here is Gregorius, got a big hit, a 2-run single in the 4th inning. Yankees scored 5 runs that inning. And if you remember, it all started, Paul, a pop-up by McCann that because of the shift no one could get to, and it would have been 2 outs, nobody on.
Yep. Then a couple big hits by the Yankees with runners in scoring position. Gardner had a big hit. Gregorius, I mean, he stayed in left field today, which has been a great approach for him.
Carroll came on in relief for Jeff Samardzija.
Michael, I think, you noticed it yesterday. We were down on the field talking to people. There is a different attitude with the New York Yankees than there was April, May, June. You just see kind of that business-like, we're getting ready to win. They expect to win. People were... It just looks like you're coming to the ballpark, and you can tell that this team is having a good year to this point.
And there's a closeness to this team. Now, I don't know if the winning does that or the closeness makes them a winning team. You obviously have to have talent, but they seem like they all like each other. And that one is off the glove of Sanchez. Moving to third is Headley, reaching his Gregorius. I would think that has to be an E4. Probably knuckled on Sanchez.
Sanchez good defensively too. He's made some great plays in this series. Take your eye off that ball.
And it scored an E4. I've mentioned this before, Paul. One of the Sundays after a game at the stadium, Carlos Beltran had a charity event at night. 85% of the team showed up. The next night, CeCe Sabathia, his wife, threw him a birthday party at their home in New Jersey. Almost the entire team was there. That's not always the case.
No.
Alex Rodriguez on this road trip in Texas turned 40. Whole team showed up at the birthday party after a game that night. Yep.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yep. Two and 0 to Drew. Stevens had a good night. He's 2 for 3. And one more hit. A hit right here would get him off the dreaded interstate.
Well, it's a long way out of that big, deep pit when you dig yourself this long in the season, be under 200.
And he is now over 200, as that's fair, and into the corner. Headley scores. They're waving home Gregorius. He will score. Drew's going for 3. He's in there with a 2-run triple, and the Yankees lead 11-1.
Wow, every once in a while you slide head first, and you don't slide, you kind of stick, and it kind of jars your back and everything in there. And Stephen Drew, a piece of hitting ball, just runs right back over the plate. He hammers it, and believe me, he knows where he is average wise. But I tell you, watch this slide, because it must have hit a soft spot or something. Ouch. Face plant over there, Michael.
4 ribbies today for Drew. Ellsbury takes low. And that's his second 4-ribby game this year. White Sox not even playing the infield in with a runner on third and nobody out.
There comes a point in time, if you're Robin Ventura, you realize today's not going to be our day.
Paul, I have to apologize. My math was a little bit too generous. With his 3-for-4 day, Drew's at 199.
Point something or just 199?
No, it's point something, because he was at 198 coming into that at bat and gained only a point.
We'll just round it up for him.
I'm sure he would appreciate that. Again on this road trip, though, he's 10 for 26.
Carroll having all kind of problems trying to get that breaking ball to that outside corner. He puts himself in positions where he's got to get one over the plate. Doesn't have that kind of stuff.
And that's going to be an RBI for Ellsbury as Drew scores, and it's 12-1 Yankees. And we should also mention Drew is a home run short of the cycle.
Last time the Yankees did it was here, you said, right? Melky Cabrera?
On this day, 6
On
years
this
ago.
day?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was in the championship season of 2009. That's going to bring up Gardner as Dustin Ackley comes out on deck. He'll pinch hit for A-Rod. You see Scott Carroll's just taking one for the team right now.
That's not a good place to be when you're a pitcher, huh? So you walk in tonight, Mike, the kids just come running. They were just waiting for you to walk in that door tonight?
They'll be sleeping.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Our kids used to wait up. And you know why? Because you always bring them home presents, right?
I don't think they've gotten that shrewd yet.
Yeah? They'll just get them in the morning?
They will get it in the morning.
From what I understand, your president, I mean, you really think them out. I mean, you took laps around that Disney store, huh?
No, you just gave it away.
Well, like your kids are sitting there listening?
Yeah.
No.
That TV's there because of these games.
Nike Town then he was in.
Well, we've broken down the Stephen Drew average to the decimal point like you want. He's hitting 199.2882.
Ooh.
622.7758.
Divided by pi gives you what?
There's a ground ball to first. LaRoche steps on the bag. And that will bring up Ackley. So again, a home run away from the cycle. Last time it happened, here's Melky. There's the homer. That's the double. There's a single. And then finally the triple. And boy, was he jacked up at third when he made it. He knew exactly that he was a triple short of the cycle. And that was also a Sunday. You ever come close, Paul?
Did it in the minor leagues once. I mean, every player comes close. Sure, every time you hit 3 hits, 4 hits, sure, you're one away, but never did it in the major leagues.
Now, what do you think's harder, the triple or the home run?
Oh, the triple by far. I mean,
statistics would tell you. No.
Much easier to hit a home run than a triple. Dark on the wheels, Michael.
Popped up. LaRoche will put it away, and Ackley is retired. So the Yankees get 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7-inning stretch here in Chicago. Yankees lead 12-1, but will stay where we are as they honor America in Chicago.
Parks across America each Sunday, the singing of God Bless America is performed in support of our country and our men and women stationed overseas. Please welcome Miles Hayes for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light up above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
As Ivan Nova gave the Yankees 6 very, very strong innings. Chasen Shreve will pitch his 37th game. Joe Girardi said before the game that the bullpen's a little tired, but the back end of the bullpen has been fine because, as Paul mentioned earlier, these games have been blowouts, so you haven't used the Dellin Betances and the Andrew Millers, and Shreve hasn't seen much action, so here he is to pitch the 7th. And Shreve will deal to LaRoche. So much concern coming into this game about Nova because of the tired arm that he complained about after his last start, but I would say that he's calmed many of the fears by the way he pitched today. And this is a White Sox team that has been hitting a lot of late. For the whole year, no, but of late they've been hot, and he just completely shut them down.
Other than, his first start back where he was tremendous, I mean, today is as good as it's been. I mean, you can count on one hand the mistakes he made. He had a great curveball, great sinker. And you mentioned it, Michael, to a team that's been hitting the ball pretty well. I missed Tanaka's last 2 or 3 starts. Michael, give me an update.
He has not. The last start he made, I didn't think that he was as sharp as his stuff would dictate that he could be. So I'm sure he's looking forward to Tuesday to put in a better start than he gave the last time out. He's going to have the extra day because of the day off.
Oh. It hit right next door, Michael, off the wall, all the way down into some guy's beer cup.
How's the guy handling it?
Splash. I don't even think he got the ball out.
Strike 3. LaRoche down looking.
Tough pitch right here, down and away. Really down and away. Strike 3.
Paul, you look at this Yankee team. They've become the better defending team that we thought they'd be. Mm-hmm. They struggled early. They can certainly hit. Only the Blue Jays have scored more runs. They hit for power. Their bullpen is outstanding. Really, the only question mark you have about this team is their starting pitching good enough?
Right.
And that's going to be answered over the final 2 months of the season.
And coming in, I think offense was the question. How were you going to score that many runs? And, Teixeira and A-Rod have really picked it up in the middle of the lineup, obviously. But, Brett Gardner's had a good year. Gregorius has been hot. Headley's been hot. Guys are really chipping in, but there's been, that middle of the lineup with Teixeira and A-Rod that has really, kind of anchored them as far as being able to drive in runs.
And a lot of people would say, well, a weakness is second base. And of late, it hasn't been. I think since June, Drew is definitely, he's not mid-200s, but a little bit lower than that. And Brendan Ryan has played well. And even if they don't hit, they're plus defenders.
Way plus. And you know what? When other guys do hit, those positions don't present that big of a problem.
Right. And there's a number 9 hitter, too.
Yeah. And when Teixeira's had the year, the numbers he has, then, it makes up for some of the numbers of another position that you can fill in with great defensive players.
That one is driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Another long home run for Alexei Ramirez. He hit one yesterday, hits one today. second run for the Sox.
Don't want a broken record, but it's a fastball. Ramirez can get to the fastball in, whether it's up and in or down and in. There's no problem getting to it.
Ramirez now 3 home runs in his last 5 games. Here's Sanchez. Swing and a miss. Bottom of the 9th inning, Tampa Bay leads Boston 4-3, 1 out, nobody on for the Red Sox. Detroit's won over Baltimore, and Toronto beat Kansas City. Sanchez 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a fly ball to left. The sun again has beaten its battle with the clouds, and the field is bathed in sunlight. Soft ground ball to second base. Drew will make the play for the second out. Yankees lead 12-2. And there's the Data Strong fan of the game, A13 Exley. A couple of happy Yankee fans. And we promise you earlier in the game all the time that we will select the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #DataStrongFan. Just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Pitch to Soto is high. Two 2-0. Soto grounded to second and struck out. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here at the Cell. 12-2 Yankees.
I'll tell you what, I was just thinking about what you said. They evacuated Baltimore, and that's just not like 5,000 people.
No, it's a
They're
lot
out in
of
the
people.
middle. You know, there's. What do you do? Where do you go now that the weather's cleared up?
High fly ball, deep left, Gardner back, track, wall, see ya. Home run for Soto. 12-3 Yankees. Boy, this is odd because you have not seen Chase and Shreve get hit hard this year. And here he is serving up 2 bombs. You have a big lead, but 2 home runs by Shreve is odd.
Again, I mean, you're getting work in. You might not have the same, you know, just intensity coming in, and all of a sudden, you know, you see closers do this a lot in, you know, when it's not a closing situation. And they give up runs when they don't hurt your team.
Some action in the Yankee pen.
You don't want to see Shreve throw too many pitches. You see 20 pitches. You don't want to lose him for a couple of days here. Do have an off day tomorrow.
Seven hits for the White Sox. Yankees 11, but the Yankees lead 12-3.
It's one of those days. Remember, we did some Yankee games where they had a lot of opportunities to score runs and they just weren't cashing in. It just seems like every opportunity they had today, they were plating runs.
And that one's inside first, a base hit, and Eaton is off to the races. Rounding second, going to third, but I believe it was touched by a fan, so they'll send him back to second. He's had a pretty good series, Adam Eaton.
He really has. Offensively, what did you say, 11 games now?
11-game streak.
There's a lot of things well. He runs well. Defensively, he had kind of a weird night, game one, but then he's made some good plays out there in the outfield also.
Well, Joe Girardi doesn't want to get the pitches that much more for Shreve. He's thrown 23. That's all he'll throw. They go to the bullpen. Those were the thrilling moments of the game, brought to you by Pepsi. Brandon Pinder called up today. Deals a first pitch strike to Tyler Saladino. Pinder takes over on the roster for Diego Moreno. Had some elbow pain. They put him on the 15-day DL. Pinder's already appeared in 11 games for the Yanks this year, up and down with Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Talking yesterday, Michael, if you're called up, you're pitching. This is the way it's going. It's not like you're called up just to fill up a chair out there. You're getting in, you're pitching. Got some diehards here in Chicago, Michael. They're still sitting out there in the sun, clapping along with the songs. Still think that they are in this game. It's 12-3 in the bottom of the seventh.
Saladino is 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts, a foul out to McCann. 12-3 Yankees, bottom of the 7th. Runner at second. Each of these two games, the runner at second, Adam Eaton, 2 hits and a walk. Three and two.
Type of at-bats in a game like this and to drive the players nuts. You go 0-2, 3-2, trying to make that perfect pitch.
Saladino has made the Yankee pitchers work. He's seen 23 pitches today. This will be number 24, the payoff. Fly ball right field. Young will make the play, and that'll do it. A couple of homers for the White Sox, Ramirez and Soto, and it's 12-3 Yanks as we go to the 8th.
Ryan Rucco for their take on the hottest sports headline, plus get analysis of the New York Jets and Giants. As the NFL training camps are underway, catch the Michael Kay Show weekdays at 3 o'clock right here on Yes. They like that, having your own show.
Nice.
Michael Kay Show.
Nice.
Huh?
I like the name of the show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They spell it right?
Yep. You said it right, too. And I'm back after a week off. Can't wait.
Oh.
A lot of things to say. Brendan Ryan, pinch hitting for Mark Teixeira. Hyundai scoreboard 12-3. The Yankees lead. Two and 0 to Ryan. Scott Carroll still in there.
He said he was taking one for the team. I mean, it's all or nothing, right?
You just worry, though, and we talk about this a lot, when you're a reliever and you come in and pitch 4 or 5 innings, you're useless to the team for another 4 days. And do they want to carry a pitcher in the bullpen they can't use, or do they send you down? Line drive foul. Crowd of 38,840. A sellout here at U.S. Cellular Field. Tipped into the glove of Soto, and Ryan down on strikes to start the 8th. Here's Brian McCann.
Brian McCann, the last couple of days, even the foul balls he's hit hard. Seems like he's on everything. Hit a home run last night. Couple good at bats today. Sometimes his good at bats don't count in the hit column. Lined out to Sanchez twice this series, second base.
That was a chopper to first. 2 away. And that brings up Chris Young. In his first at bat, robbed of an extra base hit, a diving Melky Cabrera in left. Along with Paul O'Neill and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Yankees, White Sox on Yes. It's been all Yankees, 12-3, top of the 8th.
Meredith Morakovitz. It sounds like a stage name, doesn't it?
That's really not her name.
That's not it?
No. She's
Sally Smith or something?
I think it's Sally Smith, yes. She thought Meredith Morakovitz got people, you know, wow, that's a pretty cool name.
Michael, you have some very angry members of the Morakovitz family right now.
The Smith family.
So we can do that on the road, Meredith. We can't do it at home.
Grammy M is very upset right now.
I'm just kidding. That is Meredith's given name. Can you imagine, though, little first grade Meredith having to spell that name?
Really? Spell that name, you know the alphabet, right?
That's right. You got it all.
Well, Michael, more than that, it going on the back of a jersey when I was playing sports. I've always been a tall girl, so luckily I was able to wear it. But if I were a little petite girl, that probably wouldn't have worked out so well.
Shoulder to shoulder. Who was it? Oh, in Detroit, Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah.
He's
armpit to armpit.
Yeah.
Salto Lamakia was a hefty name. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Chris Young. We're in the 8th. Swing and a miss. Second time in this game that the Yankees have gone down in order, but they still lead 12-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Tri-Honda dealers, hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. Brendan Pinder came on for Chase and Shreve, got the final out of the 7th. Now facing Jose Abreu. The runs allowed by Shreve, first he's allowed since July 7th. He's been that good for the Yankees, so a rare blip on his radar screen with the 2 home runs and a double. Also, looks like the Red Sox are going to allow one of their top prospects, Henry Owens, to make his major league debut on Tuesday against the Yankees and Masahiro Tanaka. So on successive days, top prospects of 2 teams are going to make their major league debut. Owens on Tuesday for the Sox and Luis Severino on Wednesday for the Yankees.
It's always good to see young talent come up, and you can usually tell whether, you know, why they're so high touted, if they're going to be, you know, if they need another pitch. Or I tell you what, yesterday the line didn't look so great, but I thought Mitchell has good stuff, and I think that, you know, if he would have pitched a little bit different, more breaking balls, more cutters instead of the straight fastballs early in the game, he'd have been more successful against his White Sox team. But I said it a few times yesterday, kind of just a change up away from being a good, you know, middle of the rotation starter.
Here's Melky. He drove in a run with a single in the 6th. 22 for his last 45 as his average. Wow. Pumping back up. He's at 287. Had gotten off to a really bad start his first year here with the White Sox. And now goes up a little bit more. He carries that bat for a long way down the first baseline. And he's going to annoy just the wrong pitcher.
And Melky will use all of the field to hit and to throw his bat.
You know, I watched the other night the Giants play the Rangers, and Madison Bumgarner, the World Series hero from last year, didn't like the way Adrian Beltre looked at him. And it was both benches clear. I think if Melky did that to Bumgarner, it could be an issue. He seems like he's got his antenna up all the time.
You know, a lot more batters get away with a lot more than they used to. You know, there was no watching home runs. There was no watching base hits, things like that. I mean, you hit the ball and ran the bases because the pitcher always had the last say with that ball in his hand.
Like Pinder did as he gets a 4-6-3 double play. Coming up in the 9th inning, Stephen Drew will try to push his average over 200, and he goes for the cycle. He's a home run away. Yankees lead 12-3.
We're setting up this big at bat. Stephen Drew, single, double, triple, 4 RBIs, an opportunity to get over 200 in his next at bat. Pretty big day, Stephen Drew. If he goes deep for the cycle, we're going to do that all over again and just give him another award. Right?
Why not?
The cycle award.
Yeah. John Ryan Murphy is going to pinch hit for Chase Headley. (12-3) Yankees, rubber game of this, a 3-game set, and essentially decided between a really good road trip or So the Yankees, if they win, will be 6-4. Take 10 road games off the schedule. You now never play a game outside the Eastern time zone until the postseason, if you make the postseason.
All positive things, and you know, you look at this game and they just flat out kind of beat him up today with good hitting, but you know, more importantly is how good Nova looked. And you know, there was some kind of hesitation when you pull him out of a game. Oh no, we can't afford this. But after today's outing, you feel good about giving him the ball again in 5 days.
There's the strike. Murphy down on strikes. I want to clear up the Bumgarner situation. He was angry at DeShields, but then started arguing back and forth with Beltre. So it wasn't Beltre that ticked him off, it was DeShields.
Beltre probably stood up. I mean, he's kind of the leader down there.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's had a good day at the plate.
Gregorius grounds out.
Well, what are you feeling, Michael? You feeling the cycle?
It's not easy hitting home runs. Drew has 13 of them. Wind's blowing out. Got a shot. Be a nice thing for him in a season where he struggled offensively, at least average-wise, and a hit would put him over 200.
Here on the south side. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Act like we know where we are on the south side. It's kind of a song, wasn't it? South side of Chicago.
Bad, bad Leroy Brown.
Is that what it was? I thought it was like Paper Lace and the Heat or something. Remember that?
That was also, yeah.
You're quizzing me there, weren't you? See if I'm still with you.
The Yankees aiming for another series win, a good finish to a long road trip at 6-4. They gain a game back on the Orioles after losing one last night. Big, nice 6-game lead as they head into a day off and a big, big week coming up at Yankee Stadium.
I'll tell you what, days off when you, and Michael, you know, coming from the road and having a day off at home, I mean, those are golden. You don't get them very often. Usually they're travel days going away, or just a day off at home is a full day off.
Swing and a miss, and Drew goes down on strikes. And Carroll finishes by getting the last 9 Yankees in a row, but the Yankees have a 12-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
the game, the WB Mason post-game show. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are standing by in our studio. They'll break down today's game as well as the road trip. And I'll catch up with Joe Girardi after the game, as well as pitcher Ivan Nova, Stephen Drew, Didi Gregorius, as well as many others. And Bob and Jack will take you around the league. All that's coming up on the WB Mason post-game show after the game.
Thanks, Meredith. Some changes for the Yankees. Andrew Miller takes over. He has not pitched since Thursday. Tomorrow's an off day, so they get him some work. New catcher Murphy. McCann moves to first. Ryan moves to third. You're set up. New hitter is Gordon Beckham, pinch hitting for LaRoche.
Solid numbers there, huh?
Fly ball, center field. Ellsbury puts it away. One down. Yankees take 2 out of 3 in Minnesota. Thrilling comeback victories on this road trip. They take a split in the 4-game set in Texas, and now poised to take 2 out of 3 against Chicago, enjoy an off day, and then 3 against the Red Sox and 3 against the Blue Jays. And I'm sure there'll be big crowds at the stadium. I think the city is kind of excited and engaged in this team. It's a fun team to root for and kind of gritty. It's not overpowering, but they win games, and they, as we said, they like each other. And I think this is going to be a fun 2 months. That one is lined to left field, and right there is Gardner. Sox are down to their final out.
Another thing Joe Girardi has done, and if you look up and down this line, coming from Texas, and he's given guys days off, and a lot of people don't believe in it, but you know what? Beltran's had days off. Gardner's had days off. McCann. Everybody's going to have one tomorrow, so there they go. 2 out of 3 here in Chicago.
And both the wins, blowout wins, as the Yankees win this one by a score of 12-3. Miller comes on, gets the final 3 outs. The story of the game, other than the offense, Ivan Nova was outstanding. He gave them 6 very strong innings. His pitch is moving beautifully. 3 hits for Stephen Drew, single, double, and a triple. And the Yankees get it done in the rubber game, and on the road trip, 6-4 in 10 games. Now we'll throw back to the studio. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry set the table for the rest of the day.